finer and lighter. French charcuterie is having something of a makeover. In 2011, Gilles Véraud won second place in the Pate en croûte World Championships.
It's a bit like pate baked in a pastry case. The pastry takes on the flavour of the meat, of the juices, and the end result is extremely tasty.
Gilles Véraud uses puff pastry for this recipe. He fills it with duck foie gras, pork stuffing, some dried figs, and duck fillets which have been salted the day before.
The salting process involves salt, pepper, and a little bit of alcohol. So in this case, we've used cognac.
The ingredients are placed in the pastry-lined mould.
We put the pork in first, then the duck fillets, followed by half of the foie gras.
And he finishes off with the figs. He then adds a second layer and some more pork, and then covers with the pastry, making sure it's all well sealed. He glazes it and then puts it in the oven for around an hour and a half. It's then left to cool before eating.
It looks good and it tastes good. It's a pate en croûte that everyone can enjoy.
Gilles Véraud is in fact the only French charcutier who has boutiques in London and New York. He also takes great pains in choosing the breeders he works with. La Bazoche Gouet is 1.5 hours drive from Paris in the heart of the Perche National Park. Laurent Guglielmi abandoned his career as a lawyer to come here to breed straw-bedded pigs.
In France, there are three main production methods. 93% of pigs are reared in batch pens, and the remaining 7% come from alternative productions. So we have straw-bedded systems like this one. The pigs are free to move around. They have twice as much space as they would in a batch pen, so they can dig around in the straw, play, run around. There's also a free range, outdoor rearing. This is the third method of pig farming, but it's very rare.
Pigs have an infinite range in terms of flavours and textures, and pork is the core ingredient in charcuterie. The boutique and buffet are extremely popular with food lovers.
I can't tell you how delicious this is.
Black pudding, very good.
Our charcuterie contains no artificial colourings, no phosphate, no flavour enhancers. We only use natural casings, and all our products are smoked over beechwood. There is less salt in charcuterie nowadays and a lot less fat. Over the past 5 years, pork butchers have developed leaner and lighter products. For example, 10 years ago, the fat content of a chipolata was between 25 and 30%. Nowadays, it's just 15%.
Arnaud Nicolas was awarded the Best Craftsman of France title in 2003 and develops this new generation charcuterie in his Parisian restaurant.
New cooking techniques mean we can now reduce the fat content, because with modern ovens we can cook at lower temperatures, making for more tender products without having to add extra fat. So this is what I'm trying to apply to my charcuterie. We reduce the fat content, and in doing so, we give charcuterie a better name. There does need to be some degree of fat because it does enhance the flavour, but you can reduce the fat without affecting the taste.
Everything is made in-house, like this lobster white pudding dish. It contains no pork, instead he uses cod and poultry, which he chops finely.
The poultry meat works as a binding agent, keeping the pudding together. I season with salt, pepper, and a touch of Espelette pepper.
He then adds egg whites, milk and cream.
Pork-based white pudding, a classic recipe. There's as much meat as there is milk. And here we apply the same method. I have a kilo of fish, so I will use in total a litre of liquid.
And also adds chervil and cooked fennel.
Then I blend in the cubes of lobster. The lobster is also already cooked. So now all the ingredients are mixed together and the mixture's holding together well. It's looking good. I'm feeling pretty positive it will turn out well.
The mixture is then piped into pork casings. Once the pudding is cooked, Arnaud Nicolas removes the casing. He then reheats the pudding in lobster stock married with vegetables and lobster emulsion.
So here's my cream. It's thick and creamy. But when I whisk it, air bubbles get whisked in with it, making it frothy, leaving me with a mousse.
And at Le Boudoir, there's also a sommelier on hand to advise you on the best wines to complement this new generation of lighter charcuterie.